Welcome to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Hi, everybody. My microphone in my ear just kind of fell out. It's this hair. Can everybody hear me okay?
I hear you
What
fine,
happened?
Carol.
Oh my God, John. Hold on a second. It just, it's the damnedest thing. Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
I think I have it now. It's this hair. It gets in the way.
It looks beautiful. You look
Wow.
beautiful.
Well, thank you. I'm wearing my mother's scarf, and
Ah,
I was in the mood for purple today. So
yeah, which is
per-
perfect because
it's
we're going to
perfect.
talk
Right.
about the
All
crown chakra
kinds of
and the spirit deck.
things.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. Thank you, everybody, for all your questions. This is like so exciting. And really, John, thanks for organizing them all and
Oh, my
having
pleasure.
everybody get this to me. It's very exciting. My goodness, such a time we're having, right? Such a
Sure
time.
is.
My gosh. How are you doing, John? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good, actually.
Oh,
Pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
Good. Good. I know you're busy with James also doing a lot of work for him.
Yes, it's going very well. We're having a great
Good.
time.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, let's start a little bit with astrology because I do like to start with that. And tomorrow we have a new
Oh,
moon in Gemini. So this actually should bring up some positive feelings. A new moon is always when you start something new, and in Gemini should give you some energy because it's before Mercury retrograde, which I think comes on around the 18th of June, something like that. I've got to look that up exactly. But this new moon in Gemini is going to give us the bigger picture, a piece of the bigger picture of things. And so, as the world turns, gives that new soap opera a new meaning, doesn't it? As the world turns, so it should open up a lot of new, more maybe creative aspects for people. This new moon, a
hmm
lot of people that have been struggling with what to do, how to create more for myself. How do I go on? This period of time will probably open up some of that energy for you. Okay, so wanted to say that because we still have those four big planets in retrograde and they're intense. This Pluto
Yeah.
retrograde is bringing up all kinds of things for people, all kinds of old wounds to look at, as we talked about on Monday's show. See, it is bringing up all kinds of hair issues for me, clearly. With this, okay, now stay. Um, it's gonna bring up all kinds of shadow issues for you. So start looking at your who you are as a soul. What are you about? Like, why did you snap at this person? Why'd you get angry? Why are you drinking too much? I mean, look at those kind of things. So that's what this period is about. That is a giant truck going by my on our farm. How odd is that? That doesn't happen around here. Giant. Such an odd day already. Waiting for my dog Otis to start to bark. Anyway, so and then Saturn is retrograde, and that's the father energy. That's the male energy. That is karma. So that doesn't make this time any easier at all. In fact, this particular Saturn retrograde really makes us look at why we incarnated. Really, what is it about ourselves? Who are we? So it's a very deep, deep thing. And then Venus is retrograde. So I've had so many clients, you know, in the last couple of weeks, and as we go forward, indeed wanting to end their relationships, and
hmm
and in them actually. So this is a period of time where relationships will be looked at, with do I want to continue? Who am I? What am I doing? Those kind of issues. And then, of course, we have Jupiter retrograde, and that magnifies everything. So this is not going away, it's going to continue. So, since we're all in this together during this time, it's a great time to ask me some questions.
Sure is.
So, before we start, well, one of the questions I have that I want to start with, John, and then I
Yeah.
want you can read them to me and everything, because this
hmm
is so exciting. I have to tell you, We have a very good friend. His name is Larry. And hi, Larry. Hi, Anne. Hi, Robert. I know that I think Larry and Anne are watching, and maybe Robert too. And Larry is a world class trombone player, a really extraordinary. Do you remember? You're too young probably to remember the Spiral Staircase, but he was in that band. It was one of my favorites of all times. And anyway, he does trombone choirs. Have you ever heard of that, John?
No. Mm.
Okay. First of all, he sent us one today, and it was so phenomenal. And it's an iMovie. So he made a movie to go with his music that he wrote and his trombone on it, or trombones. I'm not sure how to say this correctly. But he had lost his sister-in-law, and beloved sister passed away a few weeks ago. And so he was so moved. I mean, often out of great loss, you can come up with the most amazing creativity, because it
Mhm.
gets right to your soul, right? So he came up with this unbelievable video, which I was so moved with. So I asked him, and I got his permission if we could put it in the community, the Both Sides Now community. So when you get a chance, John, will you put that in there? Because I'd
Most
love
definitely.
everybody to listen to it. It's really moving. You'll see what I mean when you see that. And then I'm going to read his question in a minute. But the other announcement I want to make is that Mary Soleil is doing a great. She works with Archangel Michael, and I just love Mary. I've known her for years, and she's written many books. She works with Archangel Michael, and she's doing a really special meditation this Saturday. I'm actually going to do it, and Charlene, I know you're going to do it too. And she's going to be working with the energy of the dolphins in Hawaii. So it's almost like taking a trip to Hawaii because she lived there for a long time
Mhm.
and swam with the dolphins and studied the dolphins, and she's going to do this really deep meditation with the dolphins. So I think she's told me that she's got a few spaces left, and we'll put her. You can contact her on her email, and John, maybe you'll put that up
Sure, I'll
also
put that in
later
the group. Mhm.
if there's anybody that would want to do that. It's going to be really good. I'm really excited about that. So thank you, Mary. So Larry, let's go with questions. Larry asks, this was this is a hilarious question, I think. So if the brain is a physical entity, then when we die, our brain dies. So do all of our memories die too? How do
Ooh.
we connect with our relatives after we die if we have no memory of them? How is it done? I'm not laughing at you. It's such a great question. It cracks
Mhm.
me up. It really does crack me up. So these are, I'm going to explain that, Lucy. Um, the body is our avatar, and our consciousness is projected onto this. So a brain comes with the body that is here really to direct the ego and to direct us to do this and to do that and to really help us with our everything, really. I mean, we need the brain. Um, but our memories are stored in our consciousness, which is much, much, much greater than this. And in our soul, our souls it's really everything is stored in the soul. So when we pass, we leave the body, we leave the brain, we leave everything here, but the memories and everything is recorded. So you wouldn't miss a thing, even if you had dementia. You don't miss a thing. Everything is recorded. This moment is recorded. Everything is recorded. And the soul, I'll say it the way my daughter told my 3-year-old the other day, the soul floats up out of the body. And that's really, really what happens. My 3-year-old grandson the other day, August, got on the FaceTime with me, and my daughter said, "Oh, August really wants to talk to you." And I said, "Hi, August." And he goes, "Gigi, what's a soul?"
Oh.
What's a soul? I literally almost started to cry because the
Wow.
fact that he would ask, "What's a soul, Gigi?" Because they
Yeah.
were talking about my mother, his great grandmother, and
Oh.
where she was, and what's a soul? And the way his little eyes looked at me when he said that, it was such a deep question. So a soul is everything. I said, it's you. It's what's inside of us. It's such a deep. So all of our memories and everything is on our soul. So Larry, you don't have to worry. You will recognize everybody, the ones you want to see, and the ones you don't want to see. And that's. I hope I answered that question. That's how that is done. So great question, and I really got a chuckle out of it. I just loved it. So, all right, John, do you want to fire off some questions?
Sure thing. Yeah, no, I love that your grandson was asking about what's a soul, and we talked about what's coming in June, right? Is Disney's movie Soul is
Did you
coming out
post
soon.
that on?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, in
good.
the group. Yeah, a while back. In fact, I should post it again because hopefully it's still on target with being released at least, on
Yeah,
Disney streaming or, through the different outlets for because now that movies are coming out
yeah,
on demand in the meantime during all this COVID stay at home. I'm really excited about it. It looks amazing. I hope
yeah.
it is amazing. I hope that it is very much like
I hope so.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
some of those are really incredible. And I saw the preview for it where he's
Yeah,
walking and he falls into a ditch or he falls
right.
into a thing, and all of a sudden, whoa!
He's on the
I
other side.
actually
Yeah.
I got a kick out of it. I hope that it may be a little too adult for a 3-year-old. I mean, probably, but I'm really excited to see it too. So yeah, post it again so people are
Yeah,
aware
it'll
of
be
it.
interesting
And
to see how they handle it all.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. And whoever
Mhm.
came up with it, go them.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's the same guy that did, Inside Out, which was a great
Oh, I think Don did the
movie from
music for
Marvel.
that.
Oh,
I think,
really?
yeah, he did the music for a lot of these movies. Yeah.
Great.
But he didn't do this one, but he did I forget what the other previews were when I saw this, but he had
Uh-huh.
done the music for a few of them that were
Yeah,
actually on the previews, which was exciting. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so I'm excited about that, and hopefully, we will see that next month.
Yay.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so
S-
now the questions. We had a lot of questions about spirit guides. I think majority of the ones that I was reading through in the
Yeah.
group anyway were in regards to spirit guides. And in fact, I posted a link to a previous show that we covered
Mhm.
on angels and
I should get
guides.
mine out.
So that is there for folks in the group. And if you aren't in the group, I'm going to put the information up on how you can get in the group.
Mhm.
And that is our support group, and so the link is scrolling at the bottom of the screen there. You just go to Both Sides Now TV on
Right.
Facebook on the main page. You click the link that says join the group, and then we'll get you in.
So I'll talk a little bit about guides because I love spirit guides. You can
Yeah.
see in my, let's see, on this side, do you see there's a picture that I actually painted of my spirit
Yeah,
guides?
I see that. Yeah, in
You
the
can
back.
see it. Nor
Hmm.
I don't want to come undone here,
Hmm. Yeah.
or I would go get them.
Yeah.
So spirit guides, everybody has them. Yes, everybody has the minimum of one. Um, and I'll explain how that works. So, a spirit guide, before we incarnate, we choose what we want to do, we figure out what we want to do, and we work with guides to help us figure out what we want to do in this life. In this life, I want to
Mhm.
accomplish what. So, it's really a who's the best guide to help you with what you want to do. And it's somebody that has actually been in this dimension so they know the human frailties of it, the human component. There are people that are souls that, again, have been here or on the other side that work with us to determine what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And they love us so much and they have so much compassion for what we're going through. So to be a guide is a big deal. I
Mhm.
always feel like I'm preparing to be a guide for
Oh
somebody
yeah.
in this lifetime because I think you have to have that real human experience to be a guide. Now, some guides have told me they've only been here once or twice. Some guides have been around the blocks. It depends on what it is that you're wanting and needing in this lifetime. So so a spirit guide, the difference between a spirit guide and an angel is they've had a life here. And a spirit guide knows that we have free will here. So because we have free will, a spirit guide cannot make a decision for us. But what they can do is keep us on our path the best way they can. So and I've always used this example. Let's say you're going to the store, like back in the day, 2 months ago, you're going to the store and you have this idea instead, I'm going to go to Starbucks to go get a coffee instead, and I'll do shopping later. And when you're at that Starbucks, you run into somebody that changes your life, somebody who is on your path, and they put you on your path. So they would have put that idea in your head, go to Starbucks. So that's how often they're always around us. So some people have one guide, Always, everybody has at least one. But
Mm-hmm.
then other people may have two. I have two guides. It depending on what you're here to do. Now, there are specialty guides.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you decide you want to go into art. You may need an art guide. And so you would actually say, you know what, I want to do this. Can you help me with it? I need an art guide. And it will be amazed at how that works. Or writing. I've had a lot of writers say to me, you know, I need a writing guide. Oh, just you. So you ask the other side, this is what I'm needing. This is what I'm looking for. They usually know anyway, and they start to send people to you, or business or whatever, medical guide. It doesn't really matter. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
So everybody has a guide. So how do you connect with your guide? This is what I always say. Before you go to bed, ask your guide their name. You may not know if it's a female, you may not know if it's a male. It really doesn't matter, but you just get real quiet and say, "What is your name?" The first name you hear, you might hear, you know, yakety yak. You may hear some odd name. Doesn't really matter. That's
Mm-hmm.
who you connect with. That's it. And so a left brain person will be saying, but it can't really be John because, I'm like, oh, no, if that's what you heard, that's it. And then let it go because it's not as important to them. And often Native American guides are real interesting to me. Often they will not tell me their names.
Mm.
Often because it's between their soul and the soul they're working with. Guides take this very seriously. One of my guides, not so much sense of humor. The other guide, she has love and laughs all the time. They're just like people here. I know that I probably might. I have a guide from India, and he's like, it's very serious guide. It's like, Kellee, come on, stop fooling around. Come on. And I know that I had a past life with him, or probably several actually, because I've seen it. So sometimes, and often you'll have the same guide throughout your lifetime. I mean, many lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends. It all depends. So anyway, I hope that answers about guides. Is there any particular question, John, that I got about guides that I didn't answer?
Well, let's see here.
Oh, I want to say this because Samantha Buck says, what's the best way to open a relationship with them?
Mm-hmm.
They want to be acknowledged. They're like people. Oh, they are people on the other side. Acknowledge them. Say, all right, guide, come on, what's your name? Oh, Joe Blow? Okay, Joe Blow, let's go. And you start talking to them and you start having a dialogue with them. You'll be amazed. I mean, really, my story is that when I was for 3 years after reading James's first book, Talking to Heaven, he talks
Mm-hmm.
about spirit guides in that. And so as I'm reading James's book voraciously, I can't inhale it fast enough. He says, well, ask your guide their name. Ask them every day. So that's what I did for 3 years. For 3 years, I did that. And then I had my traumatic brain injury. And then I went to Tahiti. Long story short, I'm in Tahiti, and the first guide shows up, and the second guide shows up. Be careful what you ask for. It was a shock to my system, and it could have caused me a heart attack, frankly, because I actually saw them with my physical eyes. So I see a lot of guides for people, and the veil is so thin right now that you can really get this strong sense. If you can't see them with your eyes, that's okay. Use your third eye. Imagination is great along with your intuition, and you'll get a sense. It's a male, it's a female. They can come from they can come from the Pleiades, they can come from the stars, they can be, often I will see Jesus with people, often I will see Mother Mary with people, especially if there's been loss, especially with children, if I've seen that. Um, and they're all guides, you know, it, it, for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope what other questions about guides? So
You
I,
covered a lot of that. The
okay.
questions that are uh, they're more specific questions to them in terms of asking, who is their spirit guide? Was their spirit guide here to teach them? Those kind of things are
Well, and
specific.
Lori asks, how many spirit guides does one typically have at one time? So always one. Sometimes,
Mhm.
I'll tell you this, Lori. If somebody is ill, I will often see 3. If somebody's a doctor, or often a doctor is what I see about 6 of them around. Isn't that interesting? So it's more
Mhm.
than one. Like my mom would say, "Who's my guide? Who's my guide?" And I was like, "Wow, you've got 6 of them." I mean, I couldn't really. Do your guides? Great question, Wendy. Do your guides leave you if you fulfill a goal? That is, God, that's the question, isn't it? What a great question. So
Mhm.
profound, actually. Um, what I'm getting from that right now is they never leave you, but the answer is it's like a yes on some level.
Mm.
It's not that they leave you, but there's then
Mm.
if you have accomplished those goals or that goal in particular, they're so happy. I can't even tell you how happy they are.
Perhaps it's not as hands-on.
It
as
yeah, and then another guide would come in because
Mhm.
remember, we never finish learning here. You can learn at your last breath. I know my mother learned at her last breath about not being alone when she died. And that
Mhm.
was something she actually had to experience. So Renee says, "Can your spirit guides assist with helping you understand your career moves or purposes?" Great question. Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you how that would look. That would look like if you start thinking of what you want to do, I want to do this, I want to do that, all of a sudden, and ask your guides, can you send me some information on this? Can you help me with this? Can you put me in the right touch with the right person?
Mhm.
Ask them, develop that relationship with them. And all of a sudden, you'll start getting mail. Or, how many times have I said to Shirley, let's take a class in this? And then I forget about it, honestly. Next thing I know in the mail, boom. And that had to have been my guides
Yeah.
saying, making heaven and earth come together for what I needed or what they need me to need. Something like that.
So
But
here's one
yes.
for you. So
Okay.
what about spirit guides networking on the other side in the sense of, for instance, you may not have a good relationship with the person that you're trying to get the job from, but your spirit guides know their guides. Can they speak to them on that level to network and
There's a lot of networking that goes on over
yeah.
there. A lot of networking for sure. Great question. Yes. Yes,
And that's
yes.
how I think the universe works, right? Is it's
Hmm.
through everyone
Yeah.
following their intuition
Hmm.
and working together, in ways because, the way it
Yeah.
works, I believe anyway, is that spirit works through people, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So and animals and nature and all of that. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to, let's say, find a solution to a problem and you're not making headway in the 3D, right,
Hmm.
with the person, then go work with your guides and their guides to see.
Right. To see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always say this to Shirley. I always say that imagine on the other side, you had a hard day. Imagine your person that your human is being really difficult. Imagine
Mhm.
they're like me with the other ones going, "Oh, in consultation. What do you do? Oh my God, let's go sit down and have a cocktail and I'll tell you all about it." I actually envision that because I think that's probably not the cocktail part, probably, but I really believe that they
Yeah.
have consultation, that they know they figure out the best way for. Remember, what you may want as a career or as a job or as a whatever,
Mhm.
your soul path may be different. So
Mhm.
if you don't get what you want, not because the guides don't want to give it to you; they don't want to. It won't happen because that's
Mhm.
not what your soul came in to do. So it's a much bigger picture than what you think.
Yeah, it's a tough one in the
It's a tough one.
3D to
Hmm.
have your heart
Yes.
set on something and then not
Yeah.
work out.
Oh,
But then there's that adage, it's never rejection, it's divine redirection and protection.
I love that.
So,
Hmm.
makes you think.
It does. It does. And then you have to
And it's
start
never
thinking
easy, don't get
it's
me wrong, it's never easy
it's
because
never easy.
but later down the line,
Yeah.
you realize life is a
Hmm.
spiritual scavenger hunt, and you're collecting pieces along the way, and that piece may have
Yes.
thrown you off, so to speak,
Yeah.
for the grander goal.
Yeah.
So,
I
I know,
like
I'm
that.
going through that myself, so I know.
I know you have been. I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Not with
And
James,
it's
not with James, not with anyone,
no, no, no. I know that. But
yeah.
it is in this dimension, we
Yeah.
came here to have great expectations, great
Sure.
loss,
Yeah.
great feelings, great emotions.
I love how
Um,
Wendy says we're their reality TV.
oh my God, Wendy, I'm going to use that. That's hysterical. Because is that true? We are their reality TV. I'm telling you that you know that they're like, oh my God, I can't believe she did this. Why are
Yeah.
you going right? Because I know as a therapist, as a medium, I'll say to people, no, I know my job on the other side is going to be somebody's guide.
Yeah.
God help him. I wonder who it is. Probably my sister. Oh, no, no, no. I'm joking. I don't want that job. I'm
Then that
joking.
is asking what type of question should you ask a spirit guide?
Oh, well, let's start with a relationship. What's your
Mhm.
name? And then you might want to say, let's get to know each other. Where did you come from? How do I know you? How do I know you?
Mm.
Was I in a past life with you?
Mhm.
Um, how did you become my guide?
Mm.
What is it about us what are we here to work on together?
Mhm.
Why did you pick me? Or why did I pick you? And it's really
Mm.
a mutual thing that comes together. And by the way, when you pass, when that when that happens, you'll be picked up with, a loved one, a mother, a father, a husband, a
Mhm.
child, somebody it's close to you. Um, and often even it can be your guide. And then what happens is if the official greeter, if the person isn't the guide that comes to get you, you will um, meet with your guide. And then when you meet with your guide or guides, you'll go over and do this life review,
Mhm.
with that guide, because that guide has everything with your best intention and knowing of your soul's purpose. That guide is very special. It's the
Mhm.
most special relationship. So start asking, you know what? Guides love nature.
Mhm.
Go out in nature if you can, wearing a mask, whatever, go out.
Yeah.
God, times have changed.
They have.
But even if you're just looking at a tree or a flower, you can feel your guides around. They're
Mhm.
quite magnificent, and the energy feels different than a lost loved one. It's different, different energy. It's a
Well, that's a
teacher
good
energy.
question. So that's April sort of asking, can living people or animals be a guide incarnate?
Yes, my mother is now my guide, one of my guides, and I confirmed that about 2 weeks ago. And she's been gone for 2 years.
Mm.
So she's one of my guides. She wouldn't miss this party. Believe me. I was wondering, it's been 2 years, and all of a sudden, kaboom, she's here.
Yeah, that's
You know.
interesting how they would
hmm
become your guide after they pass and know a different perspective of you,
Yeah. Well,
and then
my
get the full book when they get on the other side, right?
yeah.
Of
Yes.
what was,
Yes.
yeah, you know what
Of
I
your
mean? Like
life
the whole
purpose.
case file, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very
Wow.
true.
And
But
be
with
able
my
to see things that they would never probably have
ever.
seen in as human form. Yeah.
Well, and with my mom, she never finished her work. I mean, she did and she didn't. My mother would
Mm.
never finish her work, meaning that she was a incredible psychologist, really well-known,
Mhm.
incredible psychologist, and her work would have never been finished here, meaning she loved it so much that I mean, she
Mhm.
worked until about 2 or 3 days before she passed away. And she really, it was unbelievable that she lasted that long. So I know she's wanting to continue her work. It's not even finish
Uh,
at work. It's continuing. She
mhm.
wanted to see me grow with what I
Yeah.
do. Am I frozen there? No. And she wants to watch Shirley grow, and I
Yeah.
know she's working with Prajna on the other side to help with the people that I send to her. So it's very
Oh,
interesting how the guides work. So, and animals, yes, animals can definitely be along as guides. Sue Schaefer, do animals have spirit guides and are they the same as ours? Sue, let me tell you. So, Sue is the original owner of Ruby,
ah,
Ruby the horse. And if you haven't heard that
yeah.
story, it's the most unbelievable story. And John, were you able to see? I posted, well, that's a picture of Ruby right there.
Right.
And were you able to post? Sue had sent me a link to watch Ruby with his new friend Charlotte the pig. Did you?
I
Is
think that's in the group, but I don't think it showed up as a video. So if there's a link, that would be better because it looked like the file got uploaded and it wasn't showing as a playable in the
Oh,
group. Yeah.
gosh. Sue, maybe you can get me an email or a YouTube. Maybe have,
Yeah. If you upload it to YouTube and then put a link, then that would be
okay.
better for people to review it then.
Yeah, then I'll work on that, or Sue, one of us will work on that. But the question was, animals have the same
Yeah.
spirit guides? I believe that they have greater spirit guides. I
Mm,
think that they have some um, great. I mean, what I'm getting is some great energy around them that helps them through everything. So
mhm,
yeah, they may not look the way we do, but maybe they do. You know, I think Sue, on some level, they do.
hmm,
On some level, they do. I don't think it's exact same as ours, but and then here's another thing that can happen with spirit guides. Spirit guides can, if it's a great guide, like I know that Sue has an extraordinary guide, and his guide is the same guide that my husband Don has.
mm,
They share a guide, and I know that through two separate occasions that both I described them both with the exact same name. That Sue said to me, "Well, my name." She found out the name of her spirit guide, and my husband found out the name of his spirit guide, and it was at the same time. It was just like this kind of extraordinary experience. So why is that? Well, because some guides are so fantastic with energy and such a large force, they can take on one or more in a spirit group, in a soul group.
hmm,
So Ray Testis says, my stepson died 2 weeks ago, and I'm wondering if there's a way to communicate with him through your guides. Um, let's see. Yes, there is. There's a way for you to communicate. I'd get real quiet, Ray, and because he's around, definitely he's around you. And I don't even think you have to work through your guides with this one. I think you can just
mm,
be heart to heart. I would say it's like a raising your vibration, but going inward deeply. And he's definitely around you, honey. He's definitely around.
mm.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss,
Yeah, I'm
man.
sorry for your loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see here. We're going to open the call lines. It's 213-893-4464. Again, 213-893-4464. We've got several questions that you
Okay.
posted in the group.
Well, and
And
I
we
have one
also,
question that I have to answer this question because it was a
yeah.
great question. And it was from Tracy. Tracy said, I have a friend who shared that he is trans. He is female in a man's body. Does our astrological chart show any of these types of things in it? I have heard it said that it is a confused reincarnation when someone is born trans.
Hmm.
No, I don't get at all that it's a confused reincarnation at
Mhm.
all. I think that a very advanced soul
Yes.
comes in to say, all right, this part I'm going to do the female thing because on really, you may vibrate to more female, may vibrate to
Mhm.
more male, but they're highly advanced souls that come in with that. They want to have this experience maybe as a male,
Mhm.
so they can finish up certain things that they had to
Mhm.
learn, and then they want to have the rest with this, with
Mhm.
the opposite. Um, and that's really, I think that whenever I see that, and I see it a lot, particularly in my practice, actually, um, it's your highly advanced soul that comes in with this.
Yes.
Highly wants to do a lot at one time.
Yeah, so sex is regarding genitalia.
Right.
Gender is regarding what you identify in terms of if you identify more masculine or feminine.
Mhm.
And there are people who also identify as fluid.
Mhm.
So necessarily would they be transitioning to, from male to female or female to male? They are somewhere in the middle, and that's
Mhm.
what's interesting is happening too. Those are
Yeah.
also very advanced souls, I believe.
Really advanced
People
souls.
would think, "Oh, they're confused." No,
No, no confusion.
there's a
Oh,
plan on the other
there's a
side.
plan. Yeah, there's no
Normal
accident. It
people
wasn't
coming
like I
in.
made a mistake and oops, I
Yeah,
wanted to do this instead of that. It's like that doesn't
exactly.
happen. There's no way that happens.
Yeah.
It's just that the soul is very advanced, all right? And they will go through a lot of trauma. And when they go through a lot of this, it's to open up their hearts. It's to
Mhm.
open up people around their hearts. They volunteer
Yeah.
often to come in so they can open up to see that this ridiculousness of how we've placed so much emphasis on one thing or the other
Yeah.
thing or whatever.
Exactly. And if you look in Native American, there's
Mhm.
two spirit, which
Ooh.
is very fluid in male and masculine energy. So two spirit Native
Mm.
American. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. And I have a good friend of mine who's trans and also a reverend. And
Oh, wow.
so we talked about this in depth from a life between lives
Right.
perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So it's a soul choice.
it's a soul
It's
choice.
not a life choice. It's a soul.
No, it's a soul. The soul comes
Yeah.
in. This one time I want to be, male. This one I want to be female. This one I want
Hmm.
to be this or this.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they really during this period of time it was so important because the souls are making so much advance. They're growing so much advancement. That's what I'm trying
And
to
you know what
say.
I'm also hearing too, Kel, is that some souls, when you say advanced on other planets, then
Absolutely.
they come into Earth and they're
Mhm.
like, why do I have to choose?
That's it. Exactly. That's it.
They're like, why do I have to choose? I could have been male and female fluid on this planet, and that's how the norm was. But here it's like,
So
so that
true.
was really interesting. I just got a giggle out of that one because I
Yeah.
just asked that question spiritually, and that's what it was.
It's
Yeah,
such a good question.
yeah.
I love this. Let's see. But those are, and then, okay, do want to answer this question too before we open up the phones. So
Hmm.
Mel says, I'm just learning numerology and I know I have an 11 for my birth number. And I just found out that my card is a Jack of Hearts, also an 11. What does this all mean for my destiny? So let me just say this in numerology, 11, there's three master numbers 11, 22, and 33. So it goes with know thyself, and I think we did a show on knowing thyself.
Hmm.
One of the things that you can discover about yourself is what number, like if you wanted to know what is your destiny, why are you here, what's my soul path, like why am I here? Why don't you start? One of the things that you can easily look at is your
Hmm.
numerology.
And your
You just,
astrology.
well, you can look at astrology, but if we just took
Hmm.
numerology, you would see, you would see what number you are, and then you could look it up and I could tell you and help you with what numbers they are. But an 11, the three master teachers, 11, 22, and 33. And 11 is the beginning of a master teacher. So anybody who has an 11 and then you add a Jack of Hearts to that, sorry, Mel. Sorry, honey. You probably need some sessions. Um, they come in with, taking a life as an 11 means that you have or will have some deep experiences.
Hmm.
You did not take a fluff piece life, I can tell you that. And you really wanted to be here for this period of time. And a 22 is a builder. So 11 is a teacher, master teacher, learning, learning, learning. And a 22 is a builder. So, and then if you take a 33, I'm actually a 33, and it's a builder and a teacher. So it takes lifetimes to get up to that.
Yeah.
I've been around the block a few times, probably more than 33.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a great question. It means a
And
lot
one
of
thing
sacrifice, honey. Mel, that means a lot of sacrifice.
I think the majority of the questions that we received were about spirit guides,
Okay.
some with angels. So we can talk about a little difference between an angel and the spirit guide and how that, uh, I guess, it's an interesting one.
Oh, wait, before I forget too, Diane has a great question. I've
Mhm.
dreamt almost of all my relatives that have passed lately. So what are they trying to communicate to me? I think a lot of people right now, the veil is very thin and it's going to be remain thin because we need some help. And so if you're having dreams of loved ones that have passed, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Mhm.
They just want you to know that they're around. I mean, what are they trying to tell you? Just they're here, that the soul never dies. Just their body. They just left their body, but believe me, they're right there with you. I had a dream last night of my mom, and she was wearing a beautiful red evening gown with a heart right on her ass. I was like, wow, she really wanted me to see that. I'm still
Mm.
laughing at this dream, but I've
Yeah.
only seen her I've only had dreams with her three times. So I was like so happy, And the animals that are coming in now to have your dreams
Mhm.
with your animals, they are extraordinary, extraordinary that are
Mm.
these kind of things. Okay, now I'm ready, John. Sorry,
Oh,
I
sure,
just
no
wanted to
problem.
make sure I got those
Oh, yeah,
questions.
sure. No, the other question was in regards to angels,
Oh,
versus spirit guides in terms
oh,
of.
so angels are have not had a physical life. And
Mhm.
so they are a certain vibration, and they're the ones that, if it's not your time to get hit by a car, they're going to push you out of the way. you know,
And they
or
serve as protectors.
yeah, they're often protectors,
Finders.
finders. Oh, I
Mhm,
love I have a team of angels around me and I love them. I love them. And you can talk
mhm,
to angels all day long. I mean, I've seen them. I've had seen them with my eyes, and
mhm,
I've had all kinds of angel experiences. They really exist. I have to tell everybody, I never would have believed all of this stuff exists, except now I know it does because I've seen it.
mhm, mhm.
So there you go.
All right, so you wanna get to the calls? We've got
I
several
do.
pending. All right.
Okay, let's
We're
go.
40 minutes into the show already. That's
I know. I
amazing.
hope I answered as many questions
Yeah.
as I could. They were all great questions, and I really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.
And we're going to our first caller, Renee. She asked questions earlier. Let's see if she has some questions for us on the phone here. Hey, Renee, how are you?
Hi, everybody. How are
Hi,
you?
Renee. Good. How are you?
I'm really good. I feel people around me right now. I get this chill that goes through my body. I don't
Yep.
know who's here. I was just asking. I'm like, okay, I feel you. I know you're here, but thank you for taking my call. This is my first time joining,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I'm
Welcome.
really just kind of excited to see how, what's going on with all this.
So let me just say this about chills. That means that's the souls that are gathering around. So, and you'll always get that feeling of a chill. I mean, I get it constantly. That's a great way to connect with that. Renee, what is your birthday?
January 1st.
Are you kidding? January
No.
1st. That's your
Yes.
birthday, January 1st. Wow.
Yes.
You know how rare that is? Wow. You are
Yes.
a
How
king
rare
of
it is? Tell me.
spades.
I want to know.
Oh, honey. Wow. I almost want to bow. It's so rare. There's only one king of spades and it's that day. And that means you are a female with a male brain that could do anything. I hope you haven't gotten stuck. Are you stuck? Because every once in a while, somebody that
Yes,
comes in with a great accomplishment situation here gets stuck. And so, what year were
I
you
am.
born?
I am.
I figured because you there. Whoa, it's such you wanted power in this life, big time. But it's from
Yes,
past lives that come in for you, really powerful power. What year were you born?
1970.
So how old are you? I'm so bad with math. How old are you?
I just turned 50 this year.
Oh, perfect time. So at 45, you would have had a real renewal of everything. And at 50, going into this new period of time that we're in, you're not going anywhere yet because you came into have a deep expression of making a mark here. Does that make
That
sense?
sounds like me.
Um,
Yeah, oh, it makes complete sense. I feel it all the time. I feel like what is going on? I'm not meant to have an ordinary life. I'm
no.
meant to do something big. And
Hmm.
I like, where do I go? Who do I see? Like, there's been a lot opening up in the last 8 weeks, frankly. And I'm trying to figure out how to put it all together and just asking for more information, like how do I get there? What do I do? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to talk to? Can you send the right people to me?
Hmm.
Am I asking the right questions?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of transition right now with me, I believe.
Right. Well, there is, and we have all these planets that are retrograde right now, but they'll bring you back. I don't want you to have any worry or panic over it. Zero. Okay, because you probably don't even know how deep your soul is. And you really took a deep incarnation in this life. And I almost want to talk like this because it's very profound. So I would say this in the next few weeks, in the next few months, as the energies settle into the planet, as things start to change, you are here to help usher in the groundedness for others. You're here to help with this grounding and they're telling me that you have a lot of psychic ability yourself. So you'll probably help with a lot of people getting them motivated. Are you a motivational speaker?
Oh, that's so odd that you just said that. I can just, the chill just came back through. So I am not, but it's something recently that somebody had suggested. and I've been listening to certain videos about that. And I think I've just been kind of trying to figure out, one, how to do it, where do I do it, where do I find the team of people I need to help guide me in the right, the physical team to help me go in the right direction. And who am I motivating? Is this a business motivation? Is this a
Well,
personal
that's just it.
motivation?
That's what you need
Like,
to really sit down in a real quiet state and start going with your passion. Because once you kick into that exact energy, you will, you're like a 747. You could just take off. You're going to be amazed. Honestly, you have all the gifts you need. I think it's not even a question of being impatient. It's maybe moving from the left brain to the center a little bit, okay? To the center. I think you're a little
okay.
far to the left with it. And move your brain a little, which means start working with your guides, going to some deep meditations, and then reminding yourself of your confidence, because you really could move a mountain if you had to.
Kellee, are you picking anything up
So
with
let
her
me ask.
guides or her guidance?
She's got a major guide. You have a major male guide behind you. Major. I want to say major, like a almost military, but just a big, massive guide behind you. So, and he does have a turban on, so that tells me a lot right there. Ask him his name. Develop a group, or develop a relationship, sit quietly, and then get your passion out. What are you passionate about? I mean, really, this is the time that you get to tap into it. They're telling me that you can tap into anything, actually. I think it's a matter of switching your brain a little bit to the right so you get a little more middle centered brain, and then you're on fire. Go. You'll be fine. That's a thanks for calling, Renee. I really appreciate it. Good call.
Yeah, thank you. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome. Keep us posted.
And we'll see you in the chat.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see you in the chat, Renee.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for
Yeah, sounds
calling.
great. Thanks.
Yeah,
Yay.
she's one of our regulars in our video chat room that we have in the group.
Great. Boy, that's an unusual one. January 1st.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about the Destiny card system for those wondering what she's referring to, January 1st and the King of Spades. And so everyone has a birth card. So if you look at a regular playing deck of cards, right? So
Yes.
everybody has a birthday that's attached to one of those cards.
Right.
For me, it's 3 of diamonds. For Kel, it's
4 clubs.
4 of clubs.
James, 3 of clubs. Yeah, every birth date. So we choose our birth date before we come in. We choose our name. We choose our birth date. We choose our parents. We choose this. We choose that. We actually made the choices before we got here. We did. And you're thinking, I wouldn't have chosen that. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I always have to remind people. So anyway, every
a little
birthday.
more ambitious on the other side before getting here and then realizing, oh my God, what did I put myself through?
100%, John. Yeah, 100%.
And that's a big question, actually, in regards to free will. Is free will on the other side, or is it when we get here too?
I mean, I think it's here. It really is in physical free will. So it's really we got free will. You got to make a choice, left or right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to go straight. I don't know. And what if I make a wrong choice? Because you're dealing with a brain, you're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with really everything comes in as the human. And that's why we call it the human condition. Human conditions, not easy. Not everybody says,
No.
"Ooh, let me sign up. I want to go here." No. But what happens is, and really, we're here until we finish what we wanted to learn from this, the moment our souls stepped into this dimension. So that could be 100 lifetimes, that could be 50, that could be 1,000, that could be whatever long it takes.
Yeah.
Now, this lifetime that we're in currently, it's as I called it before, an e-ticket ride. We wanted to be here because it will advance our soul rapidly.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted to be here. This is what's going on. So when people say, when's this going to be over? When is long time, 2-3 years until they come up with a vaccine. So will this be the new normal? Yeah. It will be, because our souls have to learn what we came to learn. And look how wonderful Mother Earth is really cleaning up and, feeling so much better, so more alive. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of reasons why this is happening now. And our souls, I guarantee every one of you wanted to be here. Every single one of you. I know that a lot of you are saying, no, not me. No, that's incorrect. You did.
Yeah. I guess a better
So.
question in regards to the free will question would be, once we get here, can we amend the contract?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, you
Yeah.
can. I mean, it will just take you longer than to,
Yeah.
to whatever. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, so many times I've said, okay, you know what? I don't think I really want to go in that. Is it all right if we just, make
Yeah.
it a little easier for me?
Right.
And I've said that many times. Oh my God, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, because I think some of the issue for me is understanding.
Mm.
In many ways, does it have to be this hard? Like, can I learn another way?
That's a great question. Yes, and the
Yeah.
guides would tell you that yes, you can learn an easier way, but you haven't learned it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, because people here seem to learn in density. And if you, let's say you have a situation and let's say you've picked the wrong person every time. What are you doing? What are you doing that are you
Yeah.
picking from an unconscious state? The universe
Right.
is going to throw that asshole at you each time until you go, up. I have had enough. I get it now.
It's that spiral, right? Instead of the hamster wheel, it's the spiral. Keep coming around to
Yeah.
deeper truth
Keep coming around.
until you get the
Very true. Until you get the
yeah,
answer, till
yeah,
you actually, the whole
actual
point of
lesson.
this, the
Mhm.
whole point is to adult, is to grow up. That's the whole point, for your soul to grow up,
Mm. Mm.
and to move from fear to love, fear to love.
Yeah. All right, we've got a full
Okay, let's go,
queue of
John.
calls, so let's go to our
Okay.
second caller, I should say. Moving on to California, we've got, I think her name is Ruda. Is that right? Ruda.
Yes. Hello. Hello,
Hi.
John and Kelly.
Hi, Ruda. How can we help you?
Hi, guys. So, Kelly, I have two questions. I don't want to waste everyone's time. But
Okay.
my friend who passed in 2016, tomorrow is his birthday, and I want to send message to his family and his wife. Do you see any message from him?
He's listening to a lot of music. He's got he has a first of all, yes, of course, he's sending love to everybody, and he's saying thank you for the acknowledgement. This guy loved acknowledgement. He loves it. Does that make sense? He could have been an actor. He loves acknowledgement. So please make sure everybody understands how appreciative he is of everybody and everything.
Okay. Great. Okay.
And how does the
Um,
music? Was he involved in music, or do you feel that?
I think he loved music,
Mhm.
and I'm sure actually his mom sings, so maybe he
Mm.
could be listening to that.
Yeah, he is. There's no
I
doubt.
will,
There's no doubt.
I will definitely pass this on. Hey, second question is for me and not for him. Like, it's for Kelly. I am planning to move for good to India. And I wanted to know if it's better for me, my family, because my husband really wants to move for good with his parents and whatnot. But I am a little hesitant, and I wanted to get your opinion.
What is your birth date?
January 27, 1981.
Oh, wow. That's extraordinary. I did a reading for somebody today who was from India with that exact birth placement.
King of Clubs.
Yeah, I'm just kind of stunned. Well, you know how the universe works that way. They'll
A
just
lot of
keep sending me.
synchronicity.
So, yes, I get a yes on that. I get a yes because you're very spiritually awake, you personally, and that will be a good place for you. Yes, I get a yes on that. So enjoy it when you can. I don't think you're going to move today or tomorrow. We've got a
Yes, it's not,
situation.
but it's a long time we are
Hmm.
thinking, but my heart belongs in US, I wish I come back one day to enjoy my retirement. But for now, I think I'm going to respect my husband's decision.
There's something about that. There's some place there that's really lovely for you.
Yeah,
There's
it feels
something about that.
like we were
Yeah.
saying earlier. It's a spiritual treasure hunt. You're
It,
going to collect the piece that
yeah.
is necessary for this time.
Yeah. That's very true, John. I
Yes,
love
I
that.
can relate to it.
Mhm.
Spiritual
Okay.
treasure hunt.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
very much.
much.
Thanks, Ruda. Appreciate you calling in. All right. So, Kellee, we're getting a lot of questions about the birth card and the number and all that good stuff. So, let's go ahead really quickly and let people know if they call out what birth date they are, we can give them their card. Also, we have a show about this on YouTube. We'll do another one because it seems to be very popular.
Should we do it next week? We could do one next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it next week. Next
People
week
love
we'll
this.
go into detail about the
we'll go
destiny
into
card
yeah.
system, which is really, in my experience with it, it's like tarot, astrology, and numerology all combined into one system.
It's a point of entry for me when I'm working with somebody to see exactly why their soul came in. I'll go, oh, okay, this is why
Like
you came in.
zeroes in on their chart, right?
Immediately for me. It was, a long time ago when I had my head injury, they said to me, I was able to get to the Akashic records, which is where everything is stored, or as Tom Campbell calls it, the data bank. And I was able to go in all the time and get all this information. And then one day they said, no more. I was like, what? What do you mean I can't go there? They said, no more. They said, we're going to give you a system. And I was like, because they said there's no way I could contain all of that information. And so the system that I was given is this system, the Destiny system. And for me, it's very simple and it goes right in target.
Yeah. So the first one we got is Nancy.
Oh my God, you are, yes, Nancy, you are a very old soul. You're January 2nd. Isn't that funny? We had January 1st, January 2nd, King and Queen, both women. Very, very powerful. There's, again, you're very old soul. There's nothing that you wouldn't be able to do. I would say you'd be more sensitive. You'd be a mother to many people. Many people would come. You'd be very creative. There would be probably nothing that you couldn't accomplish in this life, frankly. Another one.
She is a
very rare. Yeah,
right?
often when I see that, they're very creative. Usually Queen of Spades. But anybody who was born between the January 1st and January around the 12th or 13th or even up to the 15th is a very old soul. Very old soul. To take an incarnation, if you were born in that first few days, means that you mean business here. You came in to do things, to finish things, to have the energy, the strength, and the wisdom. So I would say, Nancy, you would be wisdom. April, that is very sweet. Bless your heart. So, 5 hearts. So also, if you go at just like as I said, the first few days in January, the last 5 days.
5 of hearts. Lori counts.
Yeah, she is. And the last 5 days of let me see, between like 25th to about the 30th, also kind of more of a new soul. Like a new car smell, a new soul. And they're the ones that really have so many interesting experiences with emotion, always with emotion, dealing with emotion. So Lori, also a 5 of hearts means emotion. A lot of experiences with you. Your soul said, oh, give me emotion, sign me up, where I said, well, I don't know. Okay. Oh, and August 23rd, that's James Van Prague's birthday. My favorite day, my favorite guy. It means you're very, very psychic and you'd be great in business too. And you could do psychic business. That's a good one. Very good. And you have to work with anxiety because you'd have some anxiety. Got to work with that.
That card is what particular?
3 of clubs. 3 of clubs. Yeah.
Okay. 3 of clubs. All right. Moving on to Jeanette, 217.
Oh, I just had that. Boy, one of the guys just following me all day. I did a reading for somebody today with that. What you said is that's just unbelievable to me. Okay, so Jeanette.
That is 8 of diamonds.
It's an 8 of diamonds. So now let me say, there's a difference between 8 of diamonds female and 8 of diamonds male. Some of the males are very cold, especially on that birthday. They're very cold, and they've got the big ego. The females have a bright smile, so I'm assuming you have a very bright smile. I would have to assume, I'm going to assume that. And that would be either, again, powerhouse. What you have to make sure is that you are not too pushy with somebody, that you don't get what you want in the way of what might be better for others. Got to watch that. But there's nothing that you could not accomplish. Nothing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's go to the calls. We've got, let's see who's holding now. We've got Lyndon, Washington, area code 360. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hey.
Hi, can
I
you
have
go
a
off a
question for
speakerphone if
Kellee.
you're on speakerphone? We're having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
No worries.
Let me get this off here.
There we go. Perfect. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Your name,
Okay,
please, and
much
where you're calling
better?
from? Yes.
Okay, good. I had a question for Kellee. I wanted to see if she has any thing that my spirit guide might want to tell me.
What is your name and what is your birth date? I can't hear you. John?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What's your name and what is your birth
I'm
date?
sorry. My name's Jennifer. My birth date is January 27th, 1962.
You're January 27? Is that what you said?
Correct. Yes.
Now, that's interesting because didn't we just have somebody that was January 27th just like a minute ago? That seems odd. Was that you? That wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me. No.
Okay, that's just
I've been
unbelievable.
waiting on hold for a while.
Oh, honey, I'm glad
Yeah.
you did.
I know,
I'm
I'm
just
listening.
stunned.
And
So-
your phone
So
calls.
that's a king of clubs.
King of Clubs, yeah. So really, your guides want you to get into your own. You have they're telling me that you've suffered a lot and you've sacrificed a lot, particularly when it comes to a mother. So I don't know if it was your mother, that there's a lot of sacrifice with
Yes.
you. And so they're telling me to tell you to make sure you're taking care of yourself, that you haven't hit your goals yet. Like I know you have certain goals they're telling me that you haven't hit yet, but you're going to hit them. It's because you so worry about everybody else and making sure of everybody else, and they want you to almost take a breath and take care of yourself first. That's like the
Yep,
big
that's
message with
so-
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. You know
You're
what?
welcome.
I know that I hear that, and I know that's exactly what they're telling me to do. I just wanted to, you know when you need to take a break. I'm working really hard. And yes, I lost my mom when she was 68, and she was way too young. She died of lung cancer, and I took care of her till she passed. We were extremely close.
Yeah.
So
I
there
got
was a lot of
chills. She's around you right now, and she's also saying make sure you're taking care of yourself, because she's telling me that you took care of her, not only her but others. And really, I think when you
Yes.
worked with her, and boy, I got chills everywhere. You'll be dreaming about her tonight. There's no doubt about it. She's around, but she really does feel that she took a lot from you, and she didn't mean to. It's just that you were so good and kind to her. You were so good with her. I don't think she could have ever had a better person take care of her. So thank you for taking care of her, she
Yes.
says. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. And she was also a January 23rd. She actually went into labor with me on her birthday, did not have me until the 27th. And I was an extremely hard birth.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
so-
But you really wanted to be here. You wanted to be here.
I
She
love her
really
deeply.
wanted you.
And I look just exactly like her. We are like twins. It's bizarre.
That's the best. I look like my mom too. That's the best. I'm wearing my mom's scarf.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My mom and I are exactly the same size, everything. But anyway, I do feel her around me so much. And just yesterday, I found her high school graduation picture and put it on my bookshelf. And I just feel her really close. But thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for calling.
Yes, thank you for
You're
calling.
welcome.
I
Have a
appreciate
great
your
day.
patience while you were on
You're
hold for so
welcome.
long. Yeah, we have several people who have been holding for a while. Now, Kel, we're running out of time. Do we want to go over time?
Well, I'll go a few more minutes, but don't you
Okay.
have to go do James's show?
Not today. Not
Oh, okay.
today. Yeah.
All right, so let's take a couple more calls.
Okay, you got it. So let's go to area code 720-720. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Oh, hey, it's Verity. I'm calling from Denver.
Hi, Verity.
Hi there.
Hey, how you going?
Good.
Hey. I'm just wondering if you've got any guidance for me. There's just guidance actually. Just feel like
Okay.
I'm floating. There's a few big life decisions, and just wondering if there's any guidance there.
What is your birth date?
It's the 2nd of the 2nd, 79.
It's the 2nd of the
February
2nd.
2nd.
Oh,
Mhm.
February 2nd.
Mhm.
I like the way you said that. The
Yeah.
2nd of the 2nd. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So she's
I'm,
a
I'm,
10 of
I'm
10 of
Aussie.
spades,
ten
yeah.
of spades.
We
Okay.
kind of say it different.
Well, I would say
Okay.
this, that you come in to, what year were you born? Oh,
1979,
okay, so you're about 40, 42?
41.
41. Okay,
It's
so you
41.
haven't even hit your stride yet. You're just going to start hitting your stride soon. You haven't hit it yet. I would say this, you really do come
Okay.
in to work. Work is a big part of your life. Working hard, hard work. You could be a wonderful therapist if you have ever considered that. There are good therapists that are born during this period of time. What do you do?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just I'm a stay-at-home mum.
Ah,
I used to do remedial massage, and I've just trained as a teacher. So that will be my next. When I go back to work, I'll be teaching primary
you'll be
school kids.
teaching. Good for you.
With, I guess, elementary kids. Yeah.
At some point, it wouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
if you go back and do go into deeper work with that, because you come in to have a deep life. You chose a deep life path. And so it could start with teaching or massage or teaching or whatever. And the next thing you know, you're in grad school. The next thing you know, in other words, your life is about deep growth. And they're telling me to make sure that you put philosophy in that as well, meaning that like you come from a truth-based place of what you know. You're very bright and you can inhale information almost.
Isn't the 10 of spades a workaholic card?
They're workaholics, but if she's home with the kids, which is a workaholic,
Yeah.
frankly, but it's somebody that really has deep intention.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. And I've got like a question on my mind. I don't really want to say it, but is there a yes or a no on this particular question? Can you do that?
I would rather not, because that's not really how I operate. But thank you for asking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know why? Because I think that you probably know the answer. So that's where I go with that. I'm not one of those. I'm really deeper than that. I always like to go, this is better for you or this is better for you. I don't want to have the mystery of the other thing. Only because things are so serious.
I totally get it. Totally get it. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Listen, thanks for calling.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Bye.
You bet. Bye.
All righty. So let's see, Kel. We've got 2 other callers holding.
Okay.
And we're going to go to the longest one that's been holding from 530. 530, can we have your name, please, and where you are calling from?
Hi, my name is Celeste.
Hi, Celeste.
How are you? This has been an awesome show.
Thank you.
And I can do 100 questions.
Well, we'll do another
Anyway,
question and answers. Yeah. What's your question?
What I'm really curious about is something we weren't talking about. But when I drive at night, not every night, but most nights, I see the color indigo, bluish purple across the road in like spheres. Sometimes they trace. And alongside my car is a violet light.
I have your question here that you say the distraction of the color is so brilliant. Wow.
Yeah, it can be, but I've gotten to where I don't let it totally distract me. And then I actually decided to stop and see if it would go away, and it didn't. But I've looked at it with glasses on, glasses off, contacts, all these different scenarios to see if it's something that I've created. But I'm just not. I'm just curious if you're picking up.
Yeah. So, well, you're definitely your chakras are opening up. I would say the fifth chakra. Let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, the fifth chakra, or I'm sorry, the sixth chakra of your third eye is opening up, and when that starts to happen, you start to see colors, and indigo represents a very high vibration of color. So
Right.
I would say that
I
you're
knew
starting to
that.
open up. I mean, you're starting to open up. And often, again, when I first started having these experiences, it wasn't so much while I was driving. It was usually if I was wherever I was, I would see something and I would see this huge color over it. Shirley and I we were working with a patient the other day together online,
Hmm.
and all I could see was green around him. And finally, I said to him, "Will you do me a favor? Will you move your head one way or the other?" Because I thought, is it a light that I'm seeing? And no, it was him. He was green when he was getting a lot of
Yeah.
healing. So the colors, if that's starting to come out now with you, this is a fabulous, fabulous sign for you.
Well, this has
Fabulous.
been going on for a few years, and
Mm.
I've never been one to really see colors and different. When I've looked in on people on a healing level, I can see things that way. But this is just something that kind of started about 5 years ago,
Mm.
and now it's a comfort to me. I
Oh, I'm
just
so
say blue,
glad.
and all of a sudden I've got colors everywhere. When I'm driving,
I
but
think you might
not in
want to
my own
do
driveway.
something.
That's what's interesting.
Well,
I pull
then
in my
maybe
driveway, nothing.
Well, then try to do it when you're just sitting quietly, and then start to
Hmm.
gather in that energy that helps you with seeing auras around because you're clearly tapping into
Hmm.
something, which is
Right.
great. I mean, and don't be afraid of it. It's such a great gift to be able to open
Oh,
up
I'm
and
not afraid of it at all.
yeah.
And I just got to keep myself from being too into it.
There you
I'm
go.
driving
Well,
down the road. I
I
was
hear you.
sitting with my boyfriend telling him, okay, I was explaining to him what I was seeing as I was driving, and I almost ran a stop sign
Oh my gosh.
because it
Yeah,
was just so spectacular. It's like,
that's funny.
but I've
Well,
learned
be
to not do
careful.
that now.
Yeah, yeah. Do it at the house and bring it in and say to your spirit guides, "All right, now I'm ready to do it here in front of my house or in my room or whatever. Show me now. Help me,
Hmm.
learn this skill out properly, bring it in." Oh, you'll see. It'll start to
Right,
happen. Good for you.
right. Because I've noticed, um, like on mediumship, whenever I bring that up or I've read books on it, I just feel the whole room fill with
Oh,
people. I'm assuming that's what's going on.
yeah.
That's been for years now too. I've
Yeah.
just not tapped into it, so
Start
I don't
tapping
know
into it. It's a
if
good
there's a
time for
connection there
that.
or not.
It's a good time for that, Celeste. Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
That was a good call. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
You
Great to
bet.
connect with
Bye
Bye.
you,
bye.
Celeste. Thank you. All right, last
Thank.
caller we've got here. Let's see, are they still on the line? No, I think they hung up. So
Sorry about that.
yeah, so we were at an hour and 12 minutes. We're getting a lot of people who are saying thank you.
Oh, thanks, Maureen. That's so sweet of you. She says, thanks for all you do. Thanks, Danette. Thanks. We can do more questions and answers next week, and we could specifically do it to birth dates. That might be fun, John?
Yeah, definitely. So we will next week
Oh,
we
thanks,
will look
Tracy.
at the Destiny card system again. We've done
Mhm.
this before. We did a little bit today. I
Yeah,
got to as many as we could in the hour. We are
it's
now 12
fun.
minutes after, which is rare because we don't usually go over, but we're glad to spend this time with you and
Yeah.
get as many questions as we could in terms of especially on the call lines as well.
Mhm. And
But
and also, you know what, John? If they have more questions that we didn't get to, write them again for next week, and I'll just answer away. It's fun. I really enjoy answering the
yeah, and I
questions.
think next week what we'll do is we'll have people post the questions on the actual reminder
Hmm.
notice. That way we have all the questions when we go live and I can just display them on the screen.
Ah, great
Yeah,
idea.
because we've been doing that in the group, and
Yeah.
so yeah, and then we're printing them out and trying to get to them as many as we could. But we just rounded them up the best we could with a
Yeah.
lot of the spirit guide questions and so forth. In fact, I want to mention James's book, "Wisdom from Your Spirit Guides." That's available
Mhm.
online as well, and that's a great book for
Excellent
connecting with
book.
your guides.
Hmm.
And I believe he also has a course on connecting with your guides as well.
Yeah.
So you want to check that out. So I wanted to get to that really quickly. I see that on Kelly's bookshelf back there above your head.
Oh yeah, because you know
Yeah.
why? My name is in the book.
Yeah,
Yay! So yeah, definitely check out the book. It's a great book.
it is. And if you haven't joined our Both Sides Now TV community group, which is our support group, go to Facebook, Both Sides Now TV, click on the visit group button, and then we'll get you into the group. And we're going to do a little after party tonight in the chat room. So if you want to hang out in the chat room with us, that's our video chat room. Get in the group and then click on rooms. You will see our BSN video chat room. Come in there and hang out with us. We're usually there, every evening. So just check it out. And you're more than welcome to come in. Even if you don't want to put your camera on, you can just turn on the audio and talk to us that way. So
yeah, and then Monday's show, we have Prajna on again for Monday's show.
Yes.
That's going to be great. And again, I want to talk about, make sure you check out Larry's video that'll be on the community site. It's like extraordinary. And Mary's meditation. We'll put her email and stuff on there so you can contact her for that.
Yeah, so that's going to be Monday with Prajna at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern time.
And 8 p.m. my time, Central time.
Central. So we'll be back on Monday. Dr. Shirley, Kellee, and Prajna.
Yay. And you.
And myself. Yeah.
Yay.
All right, everyone. Take care. Be kind to one another. And we will see you on Monday. And also probably in the chat room if you want to come join us.
I may. I may pop in. I've got some things I have to do, but which I'll talk about on Monday. But yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks, Kel.
Bye,
Love
everybody.
you.
Love
Take
you too.
care, everybody.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world.